And well, hey fellas, man. Hey, thanks again for taking some time to join me for this session of Off the Grid. So, hey, real quick, man, I wanted to welcome the Perfect Color Combination crew out of Midwest Canada. Yeah, I appreciate y'all for joining me, man. Hey, how about we start this thing off just by introducing yourselves individually and what you guys do?
Yo, yeah, thanks for having us, bro. This is Hobbs, Stay Busy. MC, producer, engineer, painter, graph artist, just hip hop kind of connoisseur. Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Tank One, Stay Busy crew. The other half of the Perfect Color combo. Mainly MC lately, but I definitely make a lot of beats. And other than that, mostly graffiti and my children.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Yep, that keeps me really busy too, man. Well, hey, thanks for the quick intro, man. Hey, real quick, man, how long have you guys both been making music, man? Did you guys start at the same time, or did one start and then introduce the other one to music, or how did it all begin?
Like I said, I kind of, was trying to think about all this stuff and kind of made some notes for myself mentally. And I know he kind of well, first of all, we probably both, everyone kind of writes and fools around in high school.
Yep.
But as in like recording and stuff, he kind of started first with like our kind of like elder group, Deep Mischief. And then once I kind of got involved, he had already had like a setup and like equipment and stuff. So it's like, and that was probably around like 1999, 2000 probably, where we were recording and like he got to record a little bit before me and stuff, but like, and then we kind of just started, but probably like 2000, I'm saying.
Wow. Yeah, you guys been into it for a minute, man. Were you guys friends before you guys did music, and even before the concept of just trying to rap or produce? Were you guys good friends, or did you meet through music?
We kind of grew up in the same neighborhood and just kind of like
Couple blocks away.
Like,
oh shit,
like some mutual friends, and then like basically I would just run into him, and then like he's a year older than me, but like at the time it seemed like he was like a lot older than me.
I was running with all the older dudes already. I was running with like the TMB crew from the city, and I was already out of the neighborhood pretty much because of skateboarding and graffiti. And I knew him because he knew the little brother of one of my crew members. So he was little TMB right off the hop.
Oh, gotcha, man.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I would just see him around, and then finally he would kind of like invite me out and stuff, and like, do you want to come? And then I'd just like, after that, we just kind of stuck together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Like the network and stuff, man. And I now I got the chicken or the egg question, man. Did producing come first, or was it MCing first? It sounded like MCing, but I'll defer to you guys on that question.
For me, it was MCing first. I was hanging out with the Deep Mischief dudes, Nubs and DSA and DJ Correct and DJ Ease. And those guys were way ahead of the time. They were from Oakland originally, the two brothers. Wow. They'd moved here, and they pretty much brought hip hop to Winnipeg, like for our crew. The one brother was like an awesome engineer musician, and the other brother just wanted to rap, so he helped him out with beats. And then I would hang out with the other brother, Nubs, all the time, and eventually I just wanted to rap, and he let me on his first album.
Oh, that's dope, man. You guys got tied to the Bay Area, man. So that's
yeah,
awesome, man.
Cool. Pretty crazy influence, like at an early age, with those guys coming from where they were and what they seen and stuff, and then just kind of like influenced a little movement from where we're from. And then, like kind of once me and him were really linking up, he had already had a setup and stuff. So I kind of was like trying rapping and making beats at the same time. And of course, both were pretty bad at the time and stuff. But like, I was just trying to get my feet in there because he had already been doing stuff and then had like a setup now. And I was like, okay, well, like now I have access to like start at both at the same time kind of. But yeah, like all the early stuff was, trash. But
yeah, well, you guys remember what you were using to record I was using this program called Cool Edit Pro, man. Where you guys?
Whoa. I still use that. It's Adobe.
So do
Yeah,
I.
Adobe Edition now, right?
Yeah.
Like,
That's right. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. It's nice. It's easy. It's functional.
Yeah.
He had like an iMac at the time and like
Oh, dude.
Cubase, right?
Cubase and Reason. Yeah.
And like it was hard to use and stuff. And he had like a
A Doctor Sample, the like
yeah.
Roland, the Boss,
Yeah.
SP 303.
Yeah.
That's what I started making beats on, was the 303. That's what the Deep Mischief guys had.
Yeah.
So I bought one. I think they had a 202, so I bought the 303, and then I moved into the MPCs.
Oh man, nice. Hey,
It's
do
kind
you
of
guys have a preference over the other? Do you guys enjoy rapping over producing, or vice versa, or you just got to do it when you're tired of one and you switch over?
there's definitely like different energies for each, right? Like when you sit down and like have to write and record, right? Like you kind of it's more serious, but when making beats, you kind of just do it when you have time and you can kind of just stop and go whenever you want, right? So it's kind of hard. Like it just, you know what I mean? Like there's different energies and like, you know, I like doing both and stuff, and they have their moments, you know, when they're the energy is there and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I he's a family guy. I don't really, you know, I don't have kids, so like I have a lot more time. So like I float around back and forth lots, you know what I mean? Just like making beats kind of casually and stuff. It's, you know, there's no pressure really, it seems.
Yeah, you guys are some badass MCs and producers, man. And what I didn't see when I was looking at the music, or I'm sorry, the site, was I didn't notice any beat tapes. I may have just not looked close enough. But do you guys ever release just independent beat tapes, or are there you guys just do the albums? And yeah, I don't recall seeing any instrumental albums.
Um, we have a kind of like a brother Bandcamp site and stuff like that. Like we have
Ah,
like one or whatever, and then we have like our Stay Busy, like our crew kind of collective page and stuff like that. And there's like some beat things on there and stuff like
got it.
that. Like and like yeah, we probably could do some more stuff.
I put out one album of just beats. I was after my dad passed. I just used his record collection. And
Oh
other than
shoot.
that, I haven't really messed with just instrumental albums or anything.
Yeah, well, whatever you guys are doing, I love, man. The recipe works well. I was just curious. And so with that, man, you guys mentioned those interesting.
Whoa. Sorry. Did you ever make beats?
Oh man, I tried, but I was very horrible. I just don't have the patience for it, man. So I did give it a shot, and I just felt, man, I was just a broke kid, man, and just didn't really have the money to buy the equipment, and it was much easier just writing raps on paper, man, and so. I think it was just not growing up with a lot of technology. It just never like kind of stuck with me, and I've always been just a dude that was into poetry and just spoken word, and so I think that kind of just fit my personality. I certainly tried, and I certainly still have that appetite for searching for the perfect sample, and I know like the drums that I like, so I do that in a sense, but not to yeah to the degree that you guys do it, man. So
Yeah,
yeah.
you're like a, you know what I mean? We've looked up to you for a long time and like your writing and stuff like that. So it's like, hey man, even if you're not making beats, you're handling business on your writing and like making like super dope tracks and stuff, right? So
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, man. Very, very humbling, man. And now we get to do music together, man. So that's dope.
that's
Yeah.
insane. That was insane to us, man. Like we're still like, you know, I reach out to a lot of people and like we kind of like we're, you know, obviously we're huge fans and sometimes I just hit up people and just, you know, say what's up and just kind of see what's going on and if people want to build and stuff. And, you know, you know, accepting and getting on with us and stuff is like means a lot to us and stuff. There's little moments like this, you know, and dudes like you who just, you know, are just down for it and stuff. And we appreciate that, bro.
Oh man, it's super humbling, man. And I'm just a fan of the music. I like music, and y'all make some dope stuff, man. And I like making dope stuff, man. So we made it happen, man. And
Yeah,
I'll touch into that later in the interview, man, where you guys
yeah.
invited me to hop on the album. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's
So
sick.
very dope, man. Yeah. So I guess to answer your question, man, no, I tried it, but I suck, man. So
It's all right.
Do some beats.
Me and Tank got some beats for you soon.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Well, hey, man, that was interesting too. The point that you guys brought up that that you have some influence from the Bay Area, and then you know how you had some Oakland cats who brought that over to you know, Midwest Canada, and then it kind of sparked a movement over there. But aside from them, were you guys listening to anybody else? Were there you know, there were a lot of Canadian MCs, you know, who were also getting their feet wet. You know, Swollen Members too on the East Coast were super dope, and
Yeah,
a
Rascals.
lot of Canadian MCs, man. Who were you guys listening to them, or were there any other MCs that you were listening to growing up?
Well, like like we were kind of talking earlier and stuff, and just like thinking of like influence and everything, and what we were listening to, and like, you know, where we're from Midwest, we're also super close to Minneapolis, so like that's like a huge. We kind of realize that's a huge part to us.
Minneapolis is closer to us than any other Canadian real city.
Dude, so that's a good place for hip hop, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, yeah, you got like the rhyme sayers and just like all the graffiti and stuff. And it's just like we realized, like, yeah, Midwest, you know what I mean? Like we kind of realized that Minneapolis is a big part and stuff. And
yeah.
But
dude, have you guys actually been to Minneapolis and seen a rhyme sayer show?
I have. Yeah.
He did.
Oh, so
yeah, I went to First Ave, saw them. I saw Soul, Sage Francis. There was a bunch of them. It was a crazy show.
Like back in the heyday of it, he went over there and saw like Deep Puddle Dynamics, basically. You know what I mean? Like,
sick.
I was actually there for I Self Divine Self Destruction album release party. It was like so ganged up. We were there with like it was all Bloods, like from his neighborhood. It was so crazy. It was like honestly one of the freakiest events, but the most live event I ever been to. It felt like the floor was gonna cave in on the place. Like,
oh, dope, man. Well, man, you guys got a good spread of hip hop influence. What about on the production tip? So I have in my mind who I like. I hear when I hear your music, but who'd you guys try to model your style off of?
Well, even just like once we kind of like, you know, as kids and stuff growing up, you know, that's one side of it. And like, you know, I remember like, you know, being like 13 and going to the flea market and like stealing Chef Raekwon tapes and DOS effects and stuff. You know what I mean? And just like, even like just being in third grade, I look back and I'm like, I'm listening to like Funk Dubious and Onyx and stuff at like a really young age and stuff. And then like, you know, House of Pain was a big thing, you know, just even just, you know, obviously just seeing another white guy and, you know, like looking at it and being like, there could be some type of, you know, influence, you know, relate like, that's kind of like, I could do that. But then, you know, growing up later on, like our influence was like our homies and stuff like that. But, you know, like there's so much, you know, like production wise, and, you know, like Muggs was a lot, you know, Biggs back in the day, and, you know, the whole like Soul Assassins.
E Swift from Alcoholics.
Oh, man.
Yeah, dude. Stuff like there's we're both into so much hip hop. Like we like so much different things and stuff, where if you really, you know, like just everything, we kind of just
that whole Def Jux sound, like the early 2000s. I love that era, like just that sound. Yeah, definitely would say a big influence.
Yeah, I could hear that, man. You know, so as I was going through all the beats that you guys both produced, the one that stuck out to me,
sorry, man. Like Artifacts, obviously too.
Yeah,
like,
Artifacts.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're graffiti dudes.
Tame One,
you know,
and rest in peace.
Yeah, like all right, I just had to throw that in there.
Big time.
No, and much deserved, man. And you know, it's funny you mentioned how you gaffled that Chef Raekwon tape, man, because when I was going through all your music, as I was listening to it really, really carefully, like I heard, I felt like I was listening to RZA stuff, man. Like I thought there was a lot of influence from RZA of the Wu-Tang Clan, man. There was a lot of similarities in that style, and I was like, dude, this is like super dirty, man. Just I just loved it, man. That's who it reminded me of, man, when I was going.
Thank you. That's crazy.
It's just, you know, like, you know, sometimes I think it's maybe just because, you know, like, you know, how, you know, I'm not saying like we're not as good. We just like to keep it raw. You know what I mean? Like we're not trying to polish anything up too much, and like, you know, like we just kind of go with the moment and just like do what we feel in it, and we've become very comfortable doing that and stuff. And
Yeah.
and I think that's the biggest thing. I always think if you really listen to it, like we're just very comfortable in our own pocket, whatever we're doing,
Right.
and with the sounds that we want to hear and what we're trying to put out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we grew up the same time, and it sounds like you guys started the music. You started doing music the same time I did, and that sound, brought me back to when I was a kid, man. When I was first starting to learn how to rhyme and so on, and so yeah, that's why it struck hard with me, man. So yeah, I like that sound too, and I share the same opinion, man. I'm just comfortable with what I do, and I'll make it work, man. So
We
yeah,
we
I love the
we
piece.
grew up in that era, you know what I mean, when it was just like flourishing and there was so much different styles and stuff coming out where it's like, you know what I mean, being the age we are now and stuff, we're kind of just, we've chosen what we want to do, and like I said, we're just comfortable, and you do what you want to do. You're not I always see you kind of maintaining a certain like steez and a vibe and everything. I don't really see you switching up crazy, you know what I mean, because you come from a certain time and you know what I mean, like you've always been true to what you do, just like us.
Yeah, right on, man. Appreciate that too as well.
Yeah.
And what I was curious about was that in the USA, you got West Coast hip hop, East Coast, Midwest, and you can always tell the difference, or you can for a period of time, you knew what that West Coast sound was. And is that similar in Canada too, man? I talked to my man Chris Blade on the West Coast and some other folks in the Toronto area. So for the native Canadian ear, for folks that grew up over there, can you tell the difference from Canadian hip hop on the Vancouver side, Toronto and Midwest side, or is it just a mix of just all over the place?
Like I like, again, thinking back about the whole Midwest kind of style and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like there's us and out here, there's some other cats out here and stuff. I kind of like in the same kind of pocket and stuff, and then all the Saskatoon guys and stuff where
Oh, that's right.
we're kind of in our little region, like the prairies, the Midwest and stuff. But like the West Coast guys and stuff, like you can kind of hear, it more of a polished sound and maybe more of a mainstream vibe to some of it out there and stuff where, because it's so close to LA probably. And I'm thinking the same with Toronto, right? Like
Toronto definitely, they have a certain twang when they rap, all like their style out there. It's a little different than anywhere else in Canada.
Okay. Oh, interesting, man.
and I'm sure right now, like everyone's so like, kind of repping their areas, you know what I mean? Especially around like the East Coast, like Buffalo, New York, it's probably like that around Toronto, right? You know what I mean? It's kind of, so I'm sure you could hear it, you know what I mean? For sure.
Yeah, yeah. Is there a different slang too as well? Like that, yeah, I bet, man, just like here.
Big time. Yeah.
The East Coast guys out here are like, you know what I mean? You could always hear it pretty heavy and stuff. And then, the West Coast guys are just more chill, laid back,
It really kind of follows the New York and the West. It's a very like that a bit, not completely to those levels, but there's definitely more influence on the West Coast from the West Coast, obviously. Yeah. And then the East is like Toronto's so close to New York that they're pretty much on the same level.
Which is good, right? You want places to kind of represent and like where they're from, you don't want any like weird sounds coming out of weird places, you kind of hope that, the regions and stuff are kind of staying true to where they're at and what they grew up around, right? What came before.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that, man. So, yep, every place has got its own sound, and yeah, I always find that, awesome, man.
Well, it's crazy though, but like you're originally from Hawaii or?
From California, yeah. So I got that affinity for West Coast music.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a weird guy, man. I just, like really connected with the East Coast style of rap, and so I'm actually like, just my family moved around all over the place. But I tried to. It was kind of weird. That's funny you asked that, man, because I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm a West Coast guy, and I should like model my style off the West, and so I got stuck on like West Coast beats, but then like East Coast style of rapping. So
yeah.
That's funny, man. Yeah, that you're right, man. So you try to find a connection with the place that you're from. So man, so you told me about how you guys linked up early on, and it was cool, man. That hey, just kind of took each other and started hanging out, man. And so, hey, tell me about the stories that are connected with the MC names that you have today? Was that just one and done, or you guys swapping out as you gone through 20 years of making music? Can you guys tell me individually how you guys came about your MC names?
Um, like mine is like a nickname derivative from some graffiti shit.
Oh,
And like it's kind of went through a few different renditions and stuff like that. I used to be like Hob Sputnik. I used to be all spaced out and like, some weird
nice.
acid head and stuff and rapping all these weird, it was like my experimental days and stuff like that. And kind of as I grew older, it kind of transitioned and stuff to like just Hobbs and then like Hobbs Stay Busy, just mind states and stuff like that. But originally just a nickname and just kind of stuck with me, and it worked. I'm like, yeah, it could be worse, and like, so like I could find some cool Fast and Furious samples sometimes when they talk about Hobbs or something.
Yeah, that's right, dude. I like the Hob Sputnik, man. That was a cool
Oh
band.
man, I was such a weirdo.
Yeah,
I was such a weirdo, man. I took too much acid.
Hey, that was dope though, man. I like it, dude. So
Yeah, and then this guy, yeah.
Mine's just been my graffiti name forever. I've never changed. Like I've changed graffiti names a few times, but always gone back to the same name for rap.
Yeah.
I've pretty much been Tank One the whole time, and
Dope.
it's Tank WON, and I only do that because Raekwon. So it's like Tank One, but
Yeah.
it's
Oh, no.
Tank One.
Yeah, that's cool. And he's kind of built like a tank. He's a little fucking.
Well, the graffiti writer from here, Mask Quota Crew. When I was little, he used to call me Tank all the time, and then one day gave me a tag of Tank, and that was it. That it stuck.
That's cool too, man.
Yep.
Oh,
This guy, he's built like a tank, man. He's like I say, he's tough as nails.
That's what's up, man. Hey, man, I gotta shout out your merch game too, man. Like, I got all these awesome stickers and the pins and magnets, man. I really dig it, man. Do you guys do the art too? You guys outsource? I mean, you guys, you probably do the art too as well for all your projects, yeah.
Some like we know, you know what I mean? Like we've known and networked and stuff with different dudes, and sometimes it's cool just to let other people, you know what I mean, even if we're capable of doing it, you know what I mean? Like some of the logos are done by some dudes like from the West Coast, but like we try to, do some of our own. And like even all this like new stuff lately, we've been doing like pins and stickers. Like there's sites out there that are pretty reasonable, even if you get small amounts, just for some little extras here and there, you know what I mean? Just to like have, it's fun and stuff, even if we're just giving them away. And we're like, we definitely, there's certain things I know that we can design and stuff. And then we also know that we have like graphic dudes that we could hit up and stuff to touch up some designs and make sure they're all like, proper for print and stuff. But we definitely try to, take care of as much as we can and, sit here and work on things together and stuff. And
definitely, if it can be in-house or by somebody like we're connected to, that's how we're doing it.
Yeah, it's dope, man. I really love all the art that I've seen, and yeah, all the merch is really dope, man. So I got the stickers plastered over. I have this like piece of luggage that I just put all my hip hop stickers on, and it's made its way on there. And I gotta take a picture of it someday. It's super dope, man. But thanks for giving me some art to plaster on my bags, man.
oh yeah, man.
Hey, with that, hey, you guys. So I know, and you mentioned it several times during the interview. Your ties to the graph scene, and so is there anything before we jump into the music that you guys want to mention about your involvement in the graph scene, or just anything about graph in general?
We're in it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I don't know. Like, it's cool out here. There's a lot of cool people, and like, me and him have traveled and met some cool people, and like we've hosted people out here, and like, it's a cool like little, piece to be involved with. Really, you know what I mean? Like to really be involved in and to know what's going on, and to know who's who, and to be able to move around and get active and stay busy in other places and stuff like that. It's, you know what I mean? You can only imagine. I'm sure some dudes who write, and you've seen some shit go down, and it's a cool thing. And we've been around it and involved for a long time, and it's a serious thing and stuff like that. And that we've kind of made choices with music and how we represent ourselves, and how to move through it and do music and stuff at the same time. And it's cool and stuff. And, like if it's part of hip hop, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that, like I said, like Artifacts was hip hop and graffiti. That was a huge thing. And, that was like kind of burnt into our brains. And we've had ink stained clothes for, 30 years now and stuff like that. Like, we try to keep some clothes without paint on it and stuff, but it's hard.
No, that's dope, man. And I guess I should say this first, man. I said you guys are some talented motherfuckers, man. You guys fucking do art. You guys produce and you MC, man. So I always have an appreciation for the other elements and have tried the other elements, but I've only been able to crack the rap thing. So man, shout out for mastering a few of the elements.
We really try to be about it. You know what I mean? Like, we're not like, we never say we're the best and stuff, but we try to like really do what we do and like be about it and stuff. And, like we've done some crazy shit, graffiti wise, music wise and stuff. And, we've hopped trains, we've done all sorts of crazy shit and stuff. And, it's just, if you listen to the music, you know what I mean? You can kind of understand us and stuff. It's pretty much right out there in the tracks. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I've golfed. It's not for me.
Yo, so shout out just for being some dope dudes involved with hip hop, man. And now I want to jump into some of the music that I listen to. And so I went through a bunch of your catalog, and I want to start it with the 2013 album, the Triangle of Terror album, which I thought, man, was a good collection of boom bap records. And so again, I found another just Wu-Tang reference, man. I felt that it had a gritty Killer Army sound in combination with those beats that I mentioned that had some RZA-like cuts, man. Do you guys want to talk to me about just the conception of the album and how that came about? Was that, what was your thought in putting that project together?
2013, that Triangle of Terror, that's kind of like a little bit of an end of an era because we were kind of just finishing up kind of our little relationship with this record label, and we put that out, and that was kind of the time when we were just like networking and collabing like crazy. If you really look on that, there's so many features and different producers, and we were really kind of all about that, like just like linking and doing like crazy stuff. But and that was kind of a cool project because we did end up getting it put on CD. I think that was like one of our like first projects that we got to put out. Someone else put out for us in a while, and I listened to that and stuff, and it's obviously you always look back at your stuff and you're like, you're kind of there's cringy stuff like that, but it's definitely like a part where like that's why it's still on the catalog, right? Because it's like kind of a moment for us, and we both there's a lot of dope tracks from us, and there's a lot of dope features, and like we both handled everything pretty well on that, I feel still.
Yeah. For us, it seemed like that was a level up. Like all our other albums, no issues with them or anything like that. But it seemed like we were at a level for a while, and then it just felt like something happened, and we like jumped a level or something. Like we hit a new plateau. It was a good one, definitely a good one. Lots of connecting with good people on that.
Yeah, I agree, man. I enjoyed listening to that album, and then again, it's got that sound that I really enjoy, man. So shout out for keeping that album alive on the site, and I like that a lot, man. And then I went on to listen to the Tank produced Read Between the Lines album from June 2020, and then I caught something, man. I saw that it was produced by Dante. Is that your producer alias name or?
No. I think there might be there's his album was Sitting in the Dark that he produced.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I
might have sent you the wrong link and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know which one came first. I think Sitting in the Dark, and yeah, he produced that one and stuff. That's probably got to be like you said, it must be around there still, 2020.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, like he's a beast on producing too and stuff. And
yep.
I was heavy on the MPC Renaissance at the time. I was learning how to use that thing, so I was going wild for a while on beats on that.
That's so dope, man. Are there a lot of spots? Were you pulling your samples online that you were chopping up, or were there a lot of good record shops and just sort of thrift shops to pull that material from, the sample from?
I dig a lot.
Yeah, I love it, man.
I'm just gonna pause. I'm just gonna let this keep going. My cat is a psychopath. I'm gonna feed him real quick. We're gonna let it go.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep it live. But yeah, this guy dug mad records and stuff. He's got probably still too many that he's got in his house and stuff. But you know, he came through and like he would just bring beats, and then we like would pick some, and then we ended up just making that a project fully produced by him. So it's like, you know,
Hey,
that album actually.
Man. Let's do
that
that.
album.
So let's talk about the digging stuff, man. Talk to me about that, man. What's your process?
I like the dollar bins for the most part.
Yeah.
We got a couple good record stores here, and then a couple flea markets, and that's mostly where I do my digging. And we got one in our area here. We got a used thrift store that's a little secret gem. I always find good stuff there. Lots of old like Ukrainian and Russian records.
Oh man,
weird loops off them.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you? So do you hold on to the records after you sample the heck out of them, or you?
Oh, I keep everything.
Man, dude. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how he does. You know what I mean? Like he's got a lot of like hardware, right? Like analog. He's got like I don't have all that stuff. So like I understand why he keeps them, but I don't know how he could keep them and stuff because like even for me now, like I have little like honey pots online that I can download, you know, old obscure stuff, and you know, and then once I'm done, I just delete it and stuff. But it's like, you know, this guy's hip hop hardcore and just got mad stacks of dusty records in his house
everywhere.
Yeah,
you know,
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Well, yeah, man, I could tell, man. You guys have like a wide range of sound, and I know you get a liking to certain certain things, but yeah, that's dope, man. Digging is fun, man. That's also part of the culture too, as well, man. Always trying to find something unique that you can use.
He'll give me like folders too. He gives me folders of samples he'll find, and sometimes I'll make beats with them. He'll make beats with the same things, and then we'll see what happens and totally different sounds.
Oh, dude. So that's a good point. I did have that. I don't think I had that written down on here, man. Was that for the beats that you guys produce? Are you guys you guys just independently produce your own things, or do you guys have actually a Hobbs and Tank produced beat?
I was thinking about that and stuff too, and I remember like, you know, some of our earlier projects when I would go to his house and stuff. I know we were trading off on some things, you know, like we would add samples or like we would find certain things. Like that was like early, but like all like the new stuff, if it's one, it's either one or the other and stuff. You know, a couple of times we've tried to like do some beats together and stuff, but it's just like sometimes our time is so limited where like a couple hours really isn't enough to like get something really laid out and stuff. So like, you know, he'll make beats when he has time. I make beats when I have time, and you know what I mean. We just kind of show off, and well, he kind of hoards them more and stuff. But I always keep telling him like, keep the dope ones for us. Like, keep the dope ones for us. Like,
yeah, for sure. For
but
sure.
I know, yeah.
No, that's
I know, like, because we use such different like ways to make beats, right? Like mine's on my computer with programs and stuff. He does a lot of like MPC and hardware stuff where it's like, you know, there'd be like a lot of like transitioning, trying to like do stuff back and forth. And, you know, it's just like, we'll just kind of let each other have, you know, the spotlight and just like make beats. And, you know, like this rep, you know, that's produced by you and this is produced by me. And
yeah. No, that yeah, you're absolutely right, man. Time is limited, man, and sometimes it's easier just to do your thing and then come back, circle back, and I'll do the same thing with the homies, man. Like, hey, man, don't give that beat out, hold it for me. I know it will be a while before I get to it, but I'm like, hey, don't save it for me, man. So I feel that, man. Well, hey, man, I had a couple standout tracks from that Read Between Lines, the Read Between the Lines album that I really enjoyed. Beyond was a super dope track that you guys did with Staple Mouth, and I just met him recently too, who is also another dope MC as well. But that was a great track. And then Giants, man, just lyrically and the beat tip, that was one of the songs where I thought, man, dude, RZA, I can hear RZA influence here all day. And then the song that I really connected with, just, you know, kind of thinking about my life and self-reflecting, was that the Maddest track. You know, where you guys mentioned that, you know, people always trying to find something negative in someone and just bashing on that, man. So those were some of the dope tracks from that album, man. You guys have any special memories putting that stuff down, or want to mention anything about that?
So yeah, this is the Dante produced one for sure and stuff. And Dante's like, he's like a low key super dope producer, but like I just think he's out in Florida, and I think he just works a lot and stuff. And like I had to harass him to try to get all those beats just off of his SoundCloud. I was just like, Joe, just give me them. Like we'll use them. Yeah, because like he's such a dope producer, and like I swear, like he uses Fruity Loops, and you can kind of hear like I kind of, you kind of, as a beat maker, you kind of hear like, okay, yeah, that sounds like he's using this because he has like certain structures and certain flips, but like he is like seriously one of the best producers, and he's just busy and stuff, or and it sucks, but yeah, that project was super good, and yeah, he has such dope sounds, and like you said, like there's some crazy like stuff, and like it just makes you write a certain way, right? And like it brings out the best of me and Tank, and
that's right.
He's dope, and I even still go back and look at his SoundCloud sometimes, and there's stuff from like 2018, and I'm like, I don't think anybody used this. Like,
yeah, give me it.
But I don't want to bug him anymore and stuff.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's it's a shame, man, if no one gets to use it, man. So I feel the same way too, man. If I find like friends have like some stuff that I'm like, whoa, I've never heard that before, and it's I think it would be a dope track, man. I try to latch onto that. But also on that album too, I forgot to mention too, Let It Flow, which featured a good friend Meg Abusive on that, and again Staple Mouth too. There's also
if you get those two guys on tracks, right, they're always going to be good and stuff. Like Staple has been, I don't know how old he is, but he's kind of like a big brother, to us. Mega, another big brother to us and stuff. And I look back, and sometimes like I was like, oh crap, like these guys, like he's on this album too, and those guys have been supporting us for such a long time, and those guys are like two of them, our favorite MCs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like. And to, just whatever, even to throw it forward a little bit to get you, Staple, and Mega on our album and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like win. But yeah, like that album and those guys always come correct. And
you guys make some dope stuff, man. And the Bandcamp, excuse me, also had a bunch of stuff that I really enjoyed. I'll look back and listen to the 2019 No Contest track too. Produced by Kung Lao. That was pretty fun too. I like that.
He was a crazy producer out of France and stuff, and like,
oh wow,
yeah, like I said, like we did a lot of networking and stuff like that, and like just we were messing with like so many different people, and I think he does like movie scores and stuff like that. He's like a real like composer, and like knows how to play like every instrument. And I don't think hip hop, obviously there's probably more money into what he's doing, and that took priority probably to him. But yeah, like I always miss recording with that guy. He had some crazy, beats that we did back in the day.
Yeah, super cool track, man. And then as I gone down the catalog, I got to get down with the Stay Busy Till Death album that you guys released earlier this year, which was super dope. A lot of standout tracks, man. To Break It Down, which I really enjoyed, that song about the everyday bullshit, dealing with it, and just being resilient. And I was listening to it on one of my morning walks, man. And that was another track that had me like self-reflecting. So you guys do that a lot, man. Just talk about like the stuff that you're going through, and then I find connection with it, and I'm like, man, yeah, dude. So that was another track, man. So shout out for making me connect, super deep with that track.
Well, I know there was just one moment and stuff where like I was kind of getting into like I'd kind of always made beats and stuff but I was like around the time when we first kind of had the idea, I was kind of getting more into it, and I told Tank, I'm like, yo, like let me produce one, like I think I can do it. You know what I mean? Like let me do an album for us, and you know what I mean? And I just ended up making tons of beats, and we all like we sat together and I showed him all of them, and like obviously we made some choices, and so like even that just like it kind of made me like really step up to like produce an album for us, because he did one already and it became super correct and stuff, and I was like, oh, I gotta like do one for us now. And then because we were both making beats, but I was just kind of like, yo, like kind of can I make one for us? And then and then once we kind of do it, we just, I think we wrote, because I was going to be in the process of moving and stuff too. So we just ended up like writing like crazy. Like he would just come over and we would just like write to as many as we could.
Couple tracks a night.
Okay, nice.
And then like right before the move, like in the couple weeks, we just like recorded everything, just before the move. So at least it was all recorded and stuff. So I didn't have to like worry about like different sounds or different setup. I kind of like upgraded my location and stuff. I didn't know if recording was going to be too appreciated in the first week, me yelling in my living room and stuff. So, but yeah, we did that album.
Do you guys record the tracks together, or I'm sure you guys probably? Oh, you do.
Oh,
awesome,
yeah.
man.
I think I think a couple of those I did do a couple on my own and stuff just to make sure like they were done. So then there was one night and stuff like I was already kind of done, and I just made him like get more of him done and stuff like that. But like I said, like most of the time we'll record together and stuff.
We usually
we'll write together and record together.
Yeah.
It's a little
so
easier
easy
when you got someone to push the buttons for you, right? Like
Yeah, it's so easy just to kind of do your own thing and then put them together. But I think like if you record together, you got a more fluid track, man.
Well, yeah, so, and I'll sit there and bug him like, hey, what are you writing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll get him to tell me a few lines, and then I'll feel comfortable, and I'll tell him a few lines, and it's just like, okay, like we're kind of, like I said, just doing what we do. We don't really like theme up tracks too crazy, if you know what I mean. If you listen and stuff, we don't have tracks that's like, it's just never been kind of like our thing, like we've done tracks, it's like, like certain things, but we just like being open and being free to write, you know what I mean? I don't want to put no restriction on him, and, we don't, do that really. We just kind of listen to the beat a few times, and then we kind of like get a kind of a theme, just off the vibe instead.
Yeah. Or yeah, I could tell. Yeah.
Or I'll just name the beat something weird, right? You just name the beat something weird, and it's just like, okay, then we're gonna go off that word I named it.
Yeah, I actually do that too, man. So that's funny, man. Hey, and then there's another track, "Villains," that was one of my favorite cuts from that album. Once again, that fluid RZA sounding. I was like, oh, another RZA sounding like beat, man, that I really enjoyed. And then again, I mentioned earlier, I had the fortune of featuring on one of your tracks. So I really appreciate the invite, man. Always dope to fuck with dope people who make dope stuff. And it was honored to be on that album too, the same as it ever was track that you guys did where you had cuts with Chaps. So shout out to Chaps for some dope cuts on that album too as well.
Yeah, that was a good one. Make.
Yeah, you killed that shit.
Likewise, man. Likewise. So
and I like too, because like, we finish up some stuff and we send it to you, and then you know what I mean, you can kind of tell that we kind of push people in a certain direction, right? Obviously with our writing, and then with your writing and shit, it was kind of like, oh, cool, like we kind of got you to open up a little bit. It felt, you know what I mean, like
yeah. That's why it's fun, man. Yeah, that's why I love working with different people, man. Like they always bring a different kind of energy that you may not know you have. And so I'm always open, man. If I vibe with the folks and they're good people, man, then I'm always down. So yeah, thank you for unlocking a different side of me. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yep. And then other standout tracks I enjoyed was the Outer Range track, the Rawness featuring Box Guts, that had cuts by DJ Rob Vader. Yeah, it was a great album, man. I just and that one I listened to a lot because I got the physical copy and was bumping it in the car. And that's where my true introduction to your music came, and so yeah, it was really good, man. And then that's
good. It's good because we're probably at our best right now, right? I don't.
Yeah.
10 years ago, I would have been embarrassed. 10 years ago, I would have been embarrassed to get you on a song. Like, man, I suck, man. Why am I asking this guy?
Not even, man. All that stuff I listened to was super dope, man. So
you know what I mean, right? Though, right?
Yeah.
You always want it to be like your new shit, you know what I mean? And
yep.
And that album, like I think it's like 10 or 11 songs, right? And I really felt like that was a good number. We got a few different like range of songs on there. There's some hard ones and stuff, and like, me and Tank came correct on our end. Dope features, like you, Mega, Staple,
Scully,
my homie Skull Bludgeon, Gambles, Avatar, rest in peace.
Rest in
You know,
peace.
I'll talk about that in a bit.
That's right.
You know, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
You got DJs like Rove, Chaps, DJ TMB, who's like Snow Goons DJ. You know, like we got a nice little circle of like dudes that we could like reach out and get on shit. And, you know, that album is like another, like, you know, it means a lot to us. It's a kind of another level up. And like the people who got on to us, like it always means a lot, you know what I mean? And it brings so much more having these people on it and these features, and, you know, all the styles accentuate and like complement each other and stuff. And, you know, I felt like the album didn't get stagnant. You know, we all came through box guts, like you said, like, you know, like really dope.
Solid one.
Yeah, it was dope, man.
Complete.
And I have to, you know, like and I always mention this as I interview. I'm one of those guys that I have to have the physical copy of the album, and that's always a requirement. You know, I'm like, yo, let me get a copy, man. I just love having the physical copy of the CD, man. So.
Well, and I think like I hit you up and stuff, or like even you had mentioned like what were we doing with it, and you know, I think you told me about like the place, the Kunaki or whatever it is.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
I'm pretty sure me and him knew about it before, but that really, you know, made the choice. We're like, oh yeah, okay. We looked into it, and then, you know, it really meant a lot for us too to get this on CD, you know, because, you know, it's been a while and stuff, and, you know, it's pretty legit, you know, on CD, printed, sent over and stuff. So,
yeah,
you know, definitely felt like it was worth, you know, our time and what we did for that to put on album and stuff. And there is still CDs available. So
yeah, hit them up, man. Such a dope project, man.
Yeah,
that was good. I'm glad you guys did that, man. And so you mentioned another person that you collaborated that I want to talk about too is the track that you guys did with Rove, man, whom you guys were friends through the graffiti scene for a long time, right? And he also contributed some scratches to your last album that you released. But hey, you guys, I saw that you guys go by the Prairie Boys, man, right? Made out of the PCC crew and Rove. That was dope. And the song was called Prairie Pressure, that you released about a month ago, man. That what a monster beat, and just you guys going back and forth on those verses, man. You guys want to talk about just the production of that song?
Yeah, like I'm sure you've seen and stuff, and maybe more people need to see, but Rove, you know, he's out just west from us a little bit and stuff.
Yep.
And he's been like getting down pretty crazy. He's put out a couple albums and like, you know, some heavyweight shit, you know, like producing and like mad features, you know what I mean? And it just shows you like, you know, what he's doing and who he's running with and stuff. And, you know, we've always kind of talked about doing stuff like he's, you know, we do consider him a friend and everything like that. And,
yeah,
you know, we just kind of was, you know, like send us something, you know what I mean? Like we could handle something for you too. And, you know, he sent us the beat, and, you know, he's a dope producer and he's got his own sound, I feel, and everything. And, you know, me and Tank really sat down and like, you know, really absorbed it and like knew that this is something kind of different for us, you know, not saying it's like super different, but it was kind of, you know, from what we were doing, and, you know, it just had a little bit of a different sound. And so we just sat down and really absorbed it and wrote to it. And took us a little bit of time just to like get that energy proper, right, and then record it. And, you know, and then, like I said, I kind of did a couple different things on the mix on it, and, you know, and showed Rove, and he was stoked on it. And then we actually sent it over to like that, you know, the big homie D-Ski at the Weightless Audio, you know, and we got it mastered, just, you know, tighten it up even more and stuff. And yeah, I think that track turned out pretty dope and stuff. And, you know, and big up Rove, you know,
he does a lot for the hip hop community, man.
Yeah, like Rove is a big part of, you know, the Canadian graph scene, and now even, you know, putting his foot down in the hip hop scene even more and stuff. You know, he's done a lot of things. He's connected with some dope dudes, and, you know, the homie Chaps was like, "Oh, you guys got to need to do more," and I'm like, "Yo, Rove's your homie. Tell him to send us more."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, so hopefully, you know,
Chaps from Canada too.
Yep,
Chaps, yeah, they're, you know, those guys are like best homies, Rove and Chaps, and good dudes and stuff. And like we, you know, me and Tank always mean to try to go out there and hang out with those guys and stuff, but we're just always so busy. But I think next summer for sure we're gonna go and link up with those guys.
Yeah, dope, man. Yeah,
we've known him since '99, I think. I think that was the first year we linked with him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
for graffiti shit way back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I love the network that you guys got on, man. I love how the Canadian music scene is tight, man. That's really dope because you get those are all names that I know and I'm familiar with, and it's good to see
Well,
you guys are all friends and connected, man.
yeah, there's it's strength in numbers, right? You got a good
So,
you got a good circle of people and stuff that you could build with, and everybody's going to contribute something and stuff. And like even those Saskatoon guys, they got a little something building out there, a little, like they're just staying busy and stuff and just making music. And, that's the main thing, right? Whatever it is, whatever you want to do, just, keep making stuff. And, that's what we're all about.
yeah, that's what's up, man. And that song too, man. I just love the play on the Midwest and just the prairie theme that you guys used for that track. And I was like, man, that was a good touch to the track, man. And just I felt like that was like, yeah, we're owning this, man. So that was cool. I really enjoyed that, man.
Again, right? Staying true to who we are and stuff. I'm not gonna say I'm from the big city and stuff. When
That's right.
a few minutes outside, it's just prairies and train tracks everywhere, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that, man. And so I didn't get a chance to get to through this album, but I started listening to the Box Guts album, the Royal Water project that you guys did, and I'm probably like 2 tracks in, so I'm looking forward to getting deep into that. Is there anything you guys want to share about the that Box Guts project before we move on?
Well, that was like I said, that was I produced that and stuff, and that was kind of after I think like we'd already kind of been working on Stay Busy Till Death, and I was doing some other stuff, and I reached out to Box, and we did a couple tracks, and it just kept on like working out more and more, and then it just ended up being like this crazy full length album and stuff, and now we built this relationship and stuff where there's going to be definitely like further projects and stuff, and he's like a really dope MC. He came through for us on our album, and it's dope that we could do that kind of back and forth, support each other, open it up to each other's fan circles and stuff like that, and just build, you know what I mean? It just benefits everybody and stuff, all these collaborations and stuff too, right?
Yep.
Like, so yeah, that album, you know what I mean? It was a big one to me too, because I kind of handled everything. I produced it, I mixed it and stuff, where, being a beat maker and stuff, and then producing an album, it's a whole other kind of thing too, where you're like in charge of like mixing and arranging it and stuff like that, where these last 2 albums, the Box Guts and the Stay Busy Till Death, I really feel like I put in a lot of work, and I'm proud of myself, like for what I did. And, like it kind of just makes me feel like I could do more, and, and it was good. And that Box Guts thing, and he's been repping it hard. He does a lot of stuff, he's on to like other projects, and you know what I mean? We got a couple things. This is the Box Guts album cover. He's a crazy painter, and yeah, man, we got some more stuff coming for sure.
Hell yeah. Where's Box Guts from?
He's he's moved around everywhere. He's from like Florida. He's been in Atlanta. He's been in New York, Brooklyn, and now he's out in Vermont. He's just out in the woods, living a nice, family life, and doing art, music. He's just like a solid dude. And, another, me and Tank, I've had him in our peripheral, not our peripherals, whatever. Like we've tried to like hit him up, and we've always meant to like work with him, but I don't know what, maybe it just didn't work out. And Tank's always reminded me like, dude, we've talked to that dude before. And,
yeah.
And,
I think 2006, 2007, we started talking about working on stuff with him, and nothing ever popped off. But 10 years later, it started connecting.
Yeah. I just felt comfortable, and I hit him up and just, let me produce some stuff for you. But yeah, that's good. That's on like the Box Guts Bandcamp. There's lots of dope music. He's a super active dude and stuff, and like a real MC spitter.
Dope. Yeah, that's dope, man. I'm excited to get into the rest of the album, but first 2 tracks banging, man. I enjoyed that, so that's awesome, man.
It's crazy.
Man, how about
sorry,
music today?
Oh, okay. Sorry, man. I just want to say it was just crazy because I was like 18 tracks, and it was just like I never expected it to be so long and stuff, but it came correct and stuff. But sorry, man, to cut you off.
No, it's okay, man. We got a delay on this thing, man. So yeah, man, that's crazy, man. Even just finding the time to record 18 tracks, man, is a big task for me, man. So that's awesome that you guys pump out quality hip hop like that, man. And what about just like music in general, man? Are you guys happy with the stuff that's coming out commercially and in the underground? Or do you not pay attention too much to it? Sometimes I get blindsided and I don't listen to stuff that's coming out. when I'm focused on a project. But what about just music in general, man? What you're hearing? Are you liking the sound?
It's kind of funny and stuff too. Like, I need to listen to more for sure, because I usually just gravitate to what I like, and
Yep.
something kind of catches me and stuff in a small moment or something like that, and then I try to go back. But like when me and Tank, try to cruise around, he'll put on some stuff on Spotify and kind of show some new stuff, and you know, sometimes we just laugh and it's trash, and you know what I mean. And then sometimes there's some really good stuff, but it's like, it's just crazy that there's not really a real consistency, that there's just still an up and down, right? Like, it's just, I guess, but it's what you
Yeah.
prefer.
That's true.
But like,
Yeah.
I listen to everything. I listen to all the new stuff. I listen to all the old stuff. There's a lot of crap though nowadays.
But when he says he listens to all this stuff, he means hip hop. Like, I'll try to show him some like weird stuff, like kind of some like, experimental stuff, and he'll just be like, "No, dude, turn this off" and stuff. I like to test them and stuff, and just like, "What do you think of this?"
Yeah, I'm pretty much like hip hop, or else what I've been sampling, like old shit.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much stuff out there, man, and you're right. I guess you just kind of gravitate to what you prefer. And so, yeah, for me, man, like, if I get stuck on like something, then I'll listen to like the song or the artist for like, that's all I want to listen to. Like right now, I'm in my Little Wayne phase right now, and
Yeah,
yeah, food,
That's
man, I'm just like
terrible.
stuck on all this stuff right now, man, and
That's
just really trying
terrible.
to carefully listen to what he's saying. But yeah, I'm in my Little Wayne phase right now, so really dope, man. But hey, with that, man, what do you guys like to do outside of hip hop in general, man? You guys have any other hobbies that you're into?
Um, we're getting older, so I like to go for walks. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, I'm
Walk
with
is
you, man.
always a nice walk is always relaxing. You
Uh,
know what I mean? Smoke a little bit, maybe, take a little bit of mushrooms and just enjoy the nature and stuff. And, just try to be around family. And,
yep.
I do have a girlfriend, so you try to, be social and do things and, go out here and there. But, I also work a crazy job, and,
Yeah.
I like to relax at home. I got cats, you know what I mean? So they just, like to be comfortable at times, veg out. There's so much nonsense stuff on the internet to watch, and sometimes you just fall down rabbit holes, spending hours, your whole day off, just like I even just over before we started, like I'm putting on 90s cops reruns. Like, this is what I've been watching, dude. And he's just like
it's good. It's good.
it's good, but it's like, I always, like I said, I don't have kids, so I find myself wasting sometimes too much time, doing nothing.
Hey man, that's sometimes the best mental therapy, man. I find a lot of enjoyment in doing nothing sometimes.
This
What
guy.
about you, Tank?
Man, I got 2 kids and a wifey, so I
Yeah.
keep busy with them. And I do a lot of art and a lot of the graffiti. And then other than that, um, anything with the kids, fishing. Like I like to be outdoors with them, like
This guy likes woodworking.
woodworking. I like
Wow.
doing shit, fixing shit. I
Yeah,
like making stuff.
this guy like knows how to like fix things. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
always telling him like, I'll help you, but I know he knows I don't know how to help him and stuff. I'm just like, you need me to lift something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's crafty. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I'm always fixing something. I'm always up to some shit that's not what everybody else is into for sure. Everybody else is
Yeah.
watching me playing video games, and I'm like looking at a 1984 synthesizer trying to figure out how to wire that thing back up.
That's dope, man. You guys are obviously men of many talents, man. So I'm not surprised, man. Well, hey, man, you guys want to talk to me about, and you're probably like me, where you get like different projects going on. But do you want to share with the folks just about any work that you guys are doing now? Any special projects that we should hear about?
I know like right now we're like writing to some beats by DJ Moves. And like, he's a Canadian staple on
Low
like
pressure.
underground hip hop, low pressure records. He's done stuff with like Josh Martinez and
Yep.
C, Drunken Arseholes, Tai Chi Chi, like a real, part of it and stuff. And he was like a big influence for us. And, a couple of years ago, we did a couple tracks with him, and, we just kind of were able to acquire some more beats from him and stuff. And we have a little folder, and we just been writing to it. And just kind of going through that process of writing, and then, you know, maybe in a couple months, just kind of do the same thing and try to get it all recorded and, you know, see what we need to do to it after and stuff. You know, probably now we'll just hit you up for another feature now that we got that one locked in. You know what I mean? Like,
Easy.
so, yeah. But, you know, that's kind of like what we're doing together. Like I said, we're always working on beats together and stuff, but, you know, the homie Avatar passed away.
Yeah, this is important.
Really, like unexpectedly and stuff like that. And me and him were working on something, which is pretty crazy because that dude is so talented, and like, you know, he never had to outsource anybody. He could do everything, and he kind of like was dope. And seeing that I was like making beats, and, you know, he kind of like gave it the go and like, let's do a project. So I was like starting to produce a project for him and stuff. And, you know, we were, I think, 10 tracks into it and stuff. And it was kind of, you know, a lot of it was done and everything and stuff. And, you know, he passed. And luckily I had like a semi updated folder of all the tracks and stuff like that were pretty much done. And, you know, with the help of his good friend, DJ Obi, you know, we're just trying to like wrap it up and like finish and add the cuts and stuff. You know, there was one verse missing that I've reached out, and we're trying to get that in and stuff like that. And I just really want to like get that out there and stuff, because it just like means so much that I was able to produce something for him like that. And he got me and Tank on like one of the posse cuts that has like Meg Abusive on it, you know, Gel Rock, you know, Zolo's on Zinco, just like a dope, you know, and to get us on that too. So like that project, you know, has double meanings, you know what I mean? To like get us on it has perfect color combination, and then me on the producing side of it. And like, it's so close. And I know you see, like, I'm posting little images, and I'm just trying to get like the layout ready and stuff like that. And like making sure like I'm in contact with his family, and, you know, just expressing what I want to do and make sure everything's okayed. And, you know, I put that out there, and I just want it to be heard. And, you know what I mean? As tough it is, and you know what I mean? Like, I'll show him some of the stuff, and it's so close to being done, but it's just at times you don't know what to do with it, right? Like,
sure.
Do I hold off on it for a certain amount of time, or do I just try to get it out there and kind of just let it be what it is? And, you know, and just trying to honor my homie and our homie, because like Avatar too, you know what I mean? He's another big part of us, and a dude who showed us so much support from, like, you know, you can go back in the catalog and always kind of see his name on a lot of stuff. And, you know, he's a real big part, you know what I mean, of LA Underground, you know, LA to the Bay, you know, Shapeshifters family and stuff, you know, all her exes, Speakeasy, like just a huge part of LA hip hop, and like, you know, helped so many people, and just like the realest dude. And, you know, I'm so bummed that he's gone, and this project has to be released this way.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Avatar, man. Wow, it's wild that you know, you guys got a project coming out. So I really look forward to you guys honoring him with that release, man. That's crazy, man. So
yeah, it like I said, it just sucks that he's not going to be here, right? Because like he was bigging me up a lot on that, you know what I mean? Like telling everybody that he was stoked that I was doing this for him and producing, and we're working on this project together. And then, you know, some people showing me like some screenshots and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like really hits you hard, right? But the project is so dope though, like, you know what I mean? Like it's got to come out, right? Like I really need it to come out.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it, man. Wow, that's definitely a special one that I look forward to, man.
And then, and like I said, me and him just stay busy and stuff like that. I think we already kind of agreed that like our next project will be like a split production. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
we're talking about more like a big crew album again, maybe.
Yeah,
getting
like
everybody on it again.
We really like that like vibe of like having like every track with many dudes and stuff. So like there's a few people I got to talk to and kind of motivate and stuff like that. You know how it is, right? And just try to get everybody involved. And you know, it's fun, but it's a lot of work. And like I said, we're all adults and people are busy and stuff. But you know, we have a dope little circle, and you know, it just shows you like time is of the essence. You know, you want to put out some stuff and live for the now, right? And get some more stuff done, because you know, tomorrow's never promised, right? And
100%.
Shit outlasts us all.
Yeah,
Man.
at least we could put out some music, and hopefully that stuff, it might last longer than some of us, but it's a reflection of us to last forever.
That's right, man. I share the same thought. Well, dope, man. Well, hey, man, thank you again for doing this session with me. It was really awesome, man. Really just to get to know you guys more deeply, man. And so, hey, do you guys want to tell folks where they can find your music? Or is there anybody you want to shout out before we close this session?
Yeah, the music, we got the Bandcamp, the Perfect Color Combination Bandcamp. Tank does his part and like uploads, to make sure we got all of our stuff on the Spotify and all the other platforms and stuff. And, so thankfully he takes care of that. We kind of, we both try to make sure, we try to get it out there and stuff. But like our Bandcamps are the big thing,
the main thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, just, we got the Stay Busy Crew Bandcamp and the Perfect Color Combo Bandcamp. All that stuff's on YouTube if you really look, and the Spotify, and we just post a lot. Check out our social networks. You can find us where we're at and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's what's up, man. Hey, man, I appreciate your contributions to the culture. Super dope, amazing work. And as mentioned earlier, man, I'm always thankful that folks reach out to work with me, and it's been an honor to work with you guys. And I look forward to doing some more stuff with y'all. But honestly, man, thank you again for taking some time to do this interview, man.
I'm just
appreciated.
I'm just gonna shout out a couple homies real quick and stuff.
Yeah.
Like rest in peace, Avatar. Shout out Meg Abusive, Stable Mouth, Scully, Gambles, Rove Chaps, Boss Guts. Our families for supporting us and stuff like that. Everybody in our Stay Busy circle. Especially you. You know what I mean? Like I'll get to that in a second. But even like my homie Rofe, you know what I mean? He's a big dude, always supporting us. I told him about we're doing the podcast today. He's stoked. He said, we deserve this. So, these little moments where people support you and stuff means a lot, right? And like I said, again, man, you doing this, asking us to be on this. I was really nervous at first. I'm like, why is he asking us? You know what I mean? But like I said, it's dope that you see something in us and, give another platform and, try to help us out and let people know about us. And you know what I mean? And, I big you up, we big you up and stuff like that. You're an OG to us, and you know what I mean? Hopefully there's more to come. And you know what I mean? Like I said, thank you so much. And you know what I mean? It means a lot. And it's dope that you're doing this. You know what I mean? Like I said, I think we talked before, everybody's kind of got a little bit of a story, and
that's right.
It's always interesting to sit and listen for a little bit and kind of gain some insight just on a story or, people's characters and stuff.
100%, man. Tank, any closing words, brother?
Just thank you for having us on. Thanks for everything you do for the culture, man. And I want to just say thanks to my family and anybody who listens to us, because if it wasn't for you dudes, we wouldn't be here.
100%, man. Well, hey, man, you guys got a fan in me, man. So I look forward to all the future projects, man. Very exciting. So, gentlemen, thanks again, man. I can't wait to get this out.